Hello, I'm Amanda Howard of Amanda Howard Real Estate here in Huntsville, Alabama. And today I wanted to talk about negotiating, more so for our sellers that are watching and some of our agents that tune in on our weekly basis. Now first we want to talk about some questions that I've received about negotiations. Is there any advice on negotiating? Well, first I'd say yes. Let's be patient about what your home is worth. Adopt a positive attitude and don't let emotions, anger, pride, greed, or even prejudice get in the way of negotiating some of the best deals. That is just some tips that I wrote down and wanted to make sure I really cover it as a base for that. Because that's what I see does happen, is emotions get high, or we start to take things personally and we start to attack or feel remorse against the other person who's coming to us. So go ahead and just eliminate those decisions. Start looking at your home as a product rather than the personal home that you have had many happy memories in. Now, the other thing is you need to make that decision to move on. And again, that's just pulling out the emotion from it. Don't think about your house anymore as the home that you've lived in and that you've raised a family in, or that you went through your college years in and found just before meeting your spouse. That's not what we want you to think about. You've got to remove that emotion completely from this and think of it now as a house, a townhome, a condo. It is now a unit. It is not a home or a house, a place that you had an emotional attachment to. And then also when any offers come in, do take them seriously. When you see that it is a reasonable offer and you're getting the advice from your agent that is saying, based off of these facts, these trends, what is happening in today's market, do take that seriously. Now the next question that I have is, how do I respond when I receive a lowball offer? First advice is, don't get offended. Seek to understand why are they giving you this kind of offer. The next question would be to ask the agent, do we know, did they have comparables? Did they ask their agent for some comparisons to go off of that would help us in understanding how did they get to this lowball offer? We do understand some people just want to test the waters. They may be coming from a different marketplace where it's a tougher market and they think that's a norm here. So always seek first to understand and then you can be understood. So then we can go back to them with some comparables that show the reasons why we are fair in what we are asking for, and we're going to be reasonable in asking them to come back to us with a reasonable offer, or we're going to now go to them with a reasonable offer based off of these facts. Again, it's removing emotion and just going forward with facts. Now, do I consider contingencies made by the buyer? First, you can always accept, reject, or counter any contingency that you receive. That is all part of negotiations. There are two typical contingencies that you're going to see. The first is financing and the second is home inspection. Now both are there to protect the buyer. The financing contingency is going to be in place so that either for they themselves, if they're going to be a cash buyer, want to ensure that the home is a fair market value and will appraise out, as well as if it's going to be financed, then the bank is going to want to ensure that should they need to come back and purchase that home away from the buyer or take that home over, that the value is there and that it's worth them putting the money out for the buyer to purchase your home. The second is the contingency. That is again another normal one, saying that your home is well maintained and it's moving from your hands to theirs in normal operating condition. So again, accept those contingencies without hesitation, as those are normal contingencies. The other things that you might see come to play are the ones you want to dig a little deeper, get a better understanding of, because they're all going to be different and there are multiple different types of contingencies a buyer may come to you with. Now there is a couple contingencies that you may want to think twice about, such as if they're asking you to do a remodeling contingency, a painting allowance, anything of that matter. It's really, those get a little more difficult and they really have other extenuating circumstances you're going to want to consider at that time. However, the financing and contingencies for inspection is typical. Can the seller also include contingencies to a contract? Yes, they can. We don't see them as often. However, an example may be that you want to rent your home back from them for a week or even a month as you're getting ready to move forward with the purchase of a different property or relocating out of the area. That is one that we will see on occasion. It's just not as frequently seen. And the reason being, there is some downsides to that. The buyer who is purchasing your home may be anxious and eager to move in. They've sold a home, they have nowhere to go, and they don't want to go into a hotel or a temporary rental situation, as you may need to if you're moving out and then have some delays. So, but again, that all comes down to negotiations. It depends on the type of market we're in. If your home is of a great value, in meaning that your home is rare to find, you have a lot of people who want it, it's for a great offering, so there's lots of buyers that want it, they're going to be a little more lenient with you as a seller and give you more of what you want, rather than the other way around if you have a lot of competition around you. So here's some points. I hope you are able to use those. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me at amanda@amandahoward.com or give us a call at 256-799-9000. We're all here to help you, and we look forward to talking to you soon.